Have you ever felt that the deeper you think, the more distant you feel from others? Like the more you understand, the less people seem to want to hear it. You're not imagining it. Throughout history, society has always had a complicated relationship with deep thinkers. Not because they were wrong, but because they saw truths most people would rather ignore. From Socrates to Galileo, Nietzsche to Tesla, brilliant minds who were mocked, silenced, or simply dismissed. Not for lack of genius, but because their ideas made the world uncomfortable. Maybe you're not alone. Maybe you're just ahead of your time. Echo chambers develop where people are exposed only to ideas that reinforce what they already believe. In this environment, deep thinkers, those who challenge the mainstream narrative, often find themselves ignored, misunderstood, or even attacked. But this rejection of deep thinking doesn't start online, it begins much earlier. In the institutions that shape our minds, schools and workplaces, schools claim to value intelligence, but in practice they reward obedience, not independent thought. Students who memorize and repeat succeed. Those who challenge the system, they're labeled troublemakers. Workplaces are no different. It's not the most intelligent or creative who rise, it's the ones who fit in. The ones who protect the status quo, and in politics, leaders who speak hard truths lose to those who say what's comforting. Throughout history, the greatest minds were outcasts in their time. Their ideas weren't celebrated. They were feared. Society claims to value innovation, intelligence, and critical thinking, but it only celebrates them after they become safe and widely accepted. Think about it. Galileo was imprisoned for speaking the truth. Today, he's a genius. Van Gogh died in poverty. His art is now worth millions. Tesla dreamed of free energy, but died broke and alone, while others profited from his stolen ideas. Society doesn't embrace intelligence when it challenges the norm. It only celebrates it in hindsight, when it's no longer threatening. Socrates spent his life questioning common beliefs. For that, he was sentenced to death. His crime? Teaching people to think for themselves. His final words? The unexamined life is not worth living. His death sent a message. Society fears those who challenge its core. Galileo's only crime was discovering that Earth revolves around the sun. But the church, threatened by the truth, branded him a heretic. He lived under house arrest. His discoveries were banned for nearly a century. Even undeniable truths are rejected when they threaten power. Nietzsche argued that society was built on comforting lies, that true strength came from creating your own values. At the time, he was dismissed as insane. Now his philosophy shapes psychology, literature, and existentialism. Society didn't hate his genius. It hated the change it represented. Nikola Tesla envisioned free wireless energy for all, but Edison and J.P. Morgan, threatened by profit loss, shut him down. He died broke and forgotten, while others grew rich using his ideas. Society rewards marketers, not visionaries. Alan Turing helped end World War II. His work laid the foundation for modern computing and artificial intelligence. But instead of being celebrated, he was punished for being gay, forced into chemical castration, leading to his tragic suicide. Today, he's a hero. Back then, he was discarded. Hypatia of Alexandria, a brilliant woman in a male-dominated world, taught logic and reason in ancient Rome, but a religious mob saw her as a threat and murdered her. Her story proves intellectual progress is often met with violence. All these thinkers shared a pattern. They saw too far ahead, their ideas were too bold, too uncomfortable, so they were rejected, ridiculed, or erased. But their ideas later shaped the very world we live in. Society doesn't fear intelligence. It fears what intelligence leads to: change. So what if you're a deep thinker today? Are you doomed to walk alone? Not at all. You just need to navigate wisely. Not everyone is ready for deep conversation, and that's okay. Save your most profound thoughts for those who appreciate them.
You don't need millions to understand you, just the right ones. Find your people.
In books, in online spaces, in quiet conversations that go deep, even the greatest minds found ways to make complex ideas accessible. Einstein said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." Schopenhauer said, "Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see." If you see what others can't, if you think what others won't, don't hide it. Yes, it makes some people uncomfortable, but it's also what moves humanity forward. Society may fear deep thinkers, but it's deep thinkers who create the future. Final lines. If you've ever felt like an outsider for your thoughts, remember this: you're not alone. And your voice? It matters more than you know. If this message resonated with you, drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been misunderstood for thinking deeply? Let's start a real conversation. And if you want more insights from history's greatest minds, subscribe, because this journey, we're just getting started.